getting a lot of questions on the word HOSH HANA. And I put it in the simplest forms, just like the exhibit. The exhibit is in simplest forms. So we're taking something extreme complex and making simple with the masses so that they either generate an alternative thought if they don't like it or impose what we're doing at the exhibit. And that is what advancement is. So when we think of HOSH HANA, think of jerk chicken. Now, the only people that can rock jerk chicken are the Jamaicans, because it's jerk chicken. It's, it's slave food. It's about 600 years old. Jerk goes hand in hand with the Jamaicans. But if you're a man in Italy and you say you cook jerk chicken, you can. But it's not the authentic. So the real Hannah, by God's will, is a blonde Turkic woman, which makes sense. Even her conception in Ararat, which makes sense. All of these are a fluke in the true story, which makes sense. Even her bearing a child by the name of Boa, which is a nickname, Boa. My nickname to him is Boa. It represents early human. But if I have some Iranian chick now wants to be HOSH HANA, it's no different than the Italian man cooking jerk chicken. He can, and she can. She can say she's HOSH HANA, but it's not the authentic. The authentic has to be blonde. The authentic would have had to been martyred, which is the case with me because I actually really died. And, you will never see these things again. It's very morbid, and it was a very bad injury where the skull flew and the limbs flew and they reattached everything like a Raggedy Ann doll. And every day I wake up, I'm sore and bitter like a truck ran over me. And I hear, may she die again on a bed of roses. But that is the authentic. So the real one would have had to have been martyred. And so Prophet Hanna wrote it into the story. Now, if I have an Armenian or if I have a Kim Kardashian and they want to be HOSH HANA, they can. But it's not the authentic. Now we have someone Armenian who's saying they're cooking jerk chicken. Now we have our 600 years of ethnicity in our slave food, which makes up jerk chicken. And then we have the Italian version, or we have the Armenian version, if you get the analogy. The real is Turkic people, because HOSH HANA is Turkic. It's actually a fusion word. I have to finish the journal on it. Now, instead of finishing the journal or working with Archives of Canada, every day they're keeping me busy with stupid stuff. Like today, I got a chainsaw so I can cut down the tree in the back. This is the globe's biggest figure. I should have thousands of people helping me. But when it's a lot of revenue, we have the armies now all fighting, like really fighting. It's actually a big project, and if they want to, instead of fighting, they can invest in the corporate, which I designed. Again, what is the probability that this person with an old antique past merges it with modern? And it's like the devil's tongue and all of that. But it's based off a true story. It is what it is. And these people think I'm competing. I'm not. I'm simply narrating. Now, let's go back to the jerk chicken. Can you imagine if the Indians decide to do jerk chicken? We're talking East Indian. They might mix it in with some fusion flavors. That's all right. But it's not the 600 years of slave dishes that we know as jerk chicken. Another entry. See? So there's a big difference between the real HOSH HANA, even if they dip her in brown tint and remove her fingerprints and change her face 600 times because they're being wicked now, because they don't comprehend the story. They're just trying to steal something big. There's a massive difference between what I'm producing as the authentic, as jerk chicken, versus what the Iranian girl's doing, or what Kim is doing, or what, these are just followers, which are okay, and they can be Hoshana, but it's not the authentic flavor. And that is where the difference lies. And these people just don't get that because sometimes it's all about the dollar bills and they're too arrogant. So, you know how you go to a mom and pop shop to eat that jerk chicken and you refuse to go eat it at some white restaurant in hedonism somewhere, but it's just because it tastes like heavenly. Another entry.